So we do have the very end of our naming slides to finish. We'll finish those in just a minute, but there's a couple things I need to talk about first to make sure everybody is ready for the test on Friday. Okay, so number one, to make it easier for you to access, I have added now another document in Google Classroom that just has the prefix listed as well as the elements with their IDE endings. Okay, so you have a document with those two things. You have your molecular geometry table in there. Those are the three main pieces for this chapter, in addition to your periodic table. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you know where to find those quickly for your test on Friday. It is a short period. It is only 23 minutes. The test is multiple choice and it's not long, but I can guarantee you if you don't have that material handy and accessible, either on your laptop or in front of you, you won't finish on time. And there won't be extended time because part of your school experience is learning how to get organized. Okay, so you need to organize yourself. We're going to go ahead and go in and finish the last few slides in naming, and then you're going to have some time to practice. But let's talk about what the plan is for tomorrow, just in case we have an FID day, because the test is Friday no matter what. What you're going to do tomorrow is the same whether we are in person or FID. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. The difference is, do you join Zoom or do you not join Zoom? So if there's no FID, you join Zoom and then we do this work. If there is an FID, you need to do this on your own. Number one, if you don't get the class kick finished today, you'll finish your class kick. Number two, I'm going to post a study guide in Google Classroom, but it's not going to be like a practice study guide. It's just going to have the topics you need to know so that you can kind of go back in and look at your notes in the class kicks to figure out that material. And number three, and most importantly, you need to get your stuff organized, maybe make a cheat sheet, either print out or make sure you have bookmarks to those things that are going to be important for this test. Okay. Again, you're going to have 23 minutes to take that, so you need to be organized. Toward the end, well, just after a few minutes of going over some notes, you're going to be working on some class kick. And during that time, I'm going to be pulling students in one by one from the waiting room and talking to you about course selection. Okay, so let's first finish the notes, and then I will allow you to work on the class kick assignment I posted. So let me pull up the notes and share. Okay, in the last class, we had been giving you the name and then you needed to change it into the chemical formula. Remember, the prefixes tell you your numbers, the subscripts, and the element names tell you the element. Our endings will always be IDE. So now we need to go backwards and apply that when given the formula. So here we have N2O5, and if we take a look, we know that we have prefix, name of element, prefix, name of element, but changed to an IDE ending. So our first prefix here will be for 2. So that means we have di for 2, the element nitrogen, and we don't change the name of the first element. So di-nitrogen. Again, we need another prefix. This time it's going to be the prefix for 5, which is penta. And then it's not pentaoxygen, but the second element has to have that IDE ending. And that's where, if you have that list available, this becomes very easy. Oxygen is oxide. So dinitrogen pentaoxide. It would also be okay to drop that extra vowel, the A, and write dinitrogen pentoxide. Okay, either one is fine, and Class Kick will give you credit for either of those answers. Okay, another example. Now, using our pattern of prefix, element, you would think that this would be monocarbon because we only have one carbon. But remember, this is one of the exceptions, one of the special rules, that we do not write mono in front of the first element. Okay, that's the only time you won't have a prefix. So this is just carbon. And then the 4 stands for tetra. And the Cl is chlorine, but we change it to chloride. So carbon, tetra, chloride. And that's really all there is to it. Okay, so it's really just a matter of learning the patterns and then practicing. So I am going to send you into Classkick. So if you want to head there, I'll pull it up just so you can see what the assignment looks like. It is called 210 Naming and Writing Covalent, and then it says type 3. Don't worry about that. Compounds. So all it is I've basically given you practice problems. For the first page, I give you the symbols or the formula, and you have to write the name. Be careful. Make sure you look up your names of your elements and spell them right. Use my lists of prefixes and the IDE endings, and then just fill them in. For some reason, 8 and 10 keep getting marked wrong, even though they're right on my key. So I have to figure out what's up with that. So if you get those wrong, don't panic. They might be right. Okay, on the second page, you're given the name and you have to write the formula. This looks a little confusing because there's a lot of boxes. The big boxes are where you type your element symbols. And if there's a little box, that's where your numbers go. Okay, so those are the subscripts. In the first example that I did for you, the reason there's no little box after the first big box is because there's only one chlorine and we don't enter ones. Okay, so chlorine dioxide, you see the Cl, the O, and then the 2 for the di. Does anyone have any questions on the Classkick? Okay.